Hey everyone, Elysia Bronson here. And today's two skills are looking at how we get unstuck and how we work on gradual exposure to our pain triggers. Those are two very different things, but they kind of work together if you think about it. When we're stuck, often joy isn't in our life, or we're stuck because of we're resisting the pain, or we're stuck because we can't do the things we really enjoyed before the pain, and life kind of sucks without. So often with therapy for anxiety, depression, other things, we use certain skills to get unstuck. So today we're going to go over what's called behavioral activation. And that's more how we intentionally change what we're doing to help bring joy back into our life. And then the next skill will be gradual exposure. Now, that's something we use for anxiety, and anxiety is so involved in our triggers, especially with pain. I don't know about you, but if I think of going near a trigger that'll increase my pain, I'm likely to run and hide or just not do that thing. But then I kind of stay stuck in my little box, and the box gets smaller every time I avoid those triggers. It gets smaller and more isolating. So, gradual exposure is kind of one of those brave skills we use to try and grow our environment and kind of test the boundaries of those triggers. Let's get into it. So here's another two skills that might help with coping with your pain. We'll see. We'll start with the behavioral activation exercise. This is where we identify the things that bring you joy or the things that fill you up. And when we identify those things, often we notice they're missing from our lives. Sometimes when we have pain or symptoms, we reduce our ability to go do things that we used to enjoy, like exercise. A lot of people before chronic illness were able to go jogging or go to the gym. And then they find that they can't do those things because of the way life shifts after these big differences come. And so when we look at other things they also used to enjoy, maybe back in high school or whatever hobbies you were into, picking those back up would be helpful. Looking at what pieces of your life you still enjoy could be helpful. Often when we help people with depression, it's looking at, oh no, all the things I enjoy in my life now. And when we create behavioral activation exercise, we're looking at this is my week, spread out hour by hour. Look at how many things are included in your week, typically that you do enjoy. Often when I do this with clients, I notice that, oh, Thursday's a really bad day for you. When we look at your behavioral activation weekly schedule, there's nothing on Wednesday or Tuesday to make you enjoy life. And it's actually filled with a ton of stressful activities or a lot of to dos, and there isn't any enjoyment. So, kind of course, Thursday's going to suck. So, when we look at this exercise, we're looking at what's the weekly schedule like and how can I implement things in the week that change my mood. So, knowing Thursday sucks, I'm going to put something Wednesday night that brings me joy, like painting or reading a book or doing something that lifts my spirit. And then Tuesday, what am I doing then that brings joy? If I want joy in my life, I might have to intentionally plan for it. I might have to go outside my box and pick up a craft that I've never done before, like cross stitching or knitting or any of those other things. Trying new hobbies out could be a way of thinking, I lost a lot to the chronic illness I can't do. I can't do exercise. I can't do those things that I used to enjoy. Maybe these are things that I could pull in. Having that capability back that I can shift what's going on in my life and I can bring enjoyment back feels capable and resilient. Trying to shift those weekly schedules and routines could be a way that you could help yourself. So, the objective here is just engaging in enjoyable activities to shift focus away from pain and improve our mood. This contributes to better overall pain management, and often it just brings a lot of joy back. I'd recommend it. I typically forget to do it myself, but when I do it, I feel a lot better. When I forget to do it, I go, I did this week so bad. And I noticed it's that I took all my marbles and I gave them to all of the heavy to dos. And I didn't save any of them the joy. And so that's about prioritizing work. Because sometimes it's more important that I have joy each day than that I get all the to dos done. So, gradual exposure pain triggers. This is another one, shifting totally different from the behavior activation. This is where we try to grow our tolerance to pain. So, the exercise is specific activities or situations that trigger pain. Now, I'm not talking you place yourself in a situation where sitting in hard chairs triggers your back pain and you start doing it every day. That would be don't do that. I'm talking specific activities that are lower level. We want gradual exposure. So, gradual meaning my back hurts when I bend down, having a really good pain day where it's only a 5. My normal is around an 8. So, if it's only a 5, that's a great time to do gradual exposure. And I'm not talking you bend down a whole bunch of times. I'm talking once or twice, maybe. Seeing how it went, being like, it was a 5 before I bent down. I did the dishwasher, bent down and put stuff in it for 5 minutes. Now where is it? And I go about the rest of the day. It teaches my brain that it was a 5. I bent down, I did a couple things. It's still a 5. I was capable of shifting that. It didn't trigger it. So, exposing yourselves to these triggers in a controlled and manageable way. Controlled meaning I can do it and stop immediately, or I can do it and I have the pain management skills to use after if it does flare. Having it, both skills there of controlled and manageable is important to the exposure. So, starting with low intensity exposures and gradually increasing it as time. So, with myself, my migraines are really bad and they get affected by wind. So often I can't go outside, especially when it's cold. But lately, my neighbors have been out there and there's a big community there. I miss having friends. So I want to go out and hang out. So what I started doing is I go for 10 minutes and I sit. If my pain's low enough, I'll go out and I'll note before going out where my pain was. After the 10-minute alarm goes off, I run back inside and I go, "Good job, Elysia. You get a Skittle. And where's your pain at now?" This gradual exposure after a week of 10 minutes, maybe I increase it to 15 minutes. If I didn't last that long, I hold it steady. So, this is how we grow our tolerance. The objective here of gradual exposure can help reduce the fear and avoidance associated with pain triggers. It improves our coping skills and our ability to function. So maybe trying that out when your pain is the lowest or even a manageable level would be good. Keeping the number of minutes outside or minutes exposed to that trigger low too is a good starting point. If I set myself up to go out for like a half hour, I might set myself up for failure because I know that my body already can't. If I start low with it like 5 minutes, I'm giving myself the ability to cope with something small and the ability for success right away. So we want to set ourselves up for success rather than failure. I hope that helps. And if you need to go over it one to one or you're looking for more skills, I'm always here to help or even just support you through it. I get what it's like pretty deeply because I have my own. So I'm always here to talk. You can book it online. Thanks for watching.